Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and now that all of the cards from Cataclysm have been revealed, we are going to do what we do for every expansion cycle. We are going to rate every single legendary on a tier list that includes the Colossals and rate them S through F, S being like God tier, auto include, meta-defining style of card like Grunty, or an F being just absolute garbage you would never play in your deck. Also probably like Grunty. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Of course, we still have our giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders and 2 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter the giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday when we go over that rewards track refresh. I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go bow out. So reminder as well, a template will be down below if you want to fill this out yourself. I'm also going to shrink my face a little bit here so we can properly see the cards as we horribly rank them. And we're going to start off with Alec here, Lord of Storms, the Shaman Colossal +2, Rush, Wind Fury, Battle Cry. Get 2 minions with cost equal to this minion's attack. They cost 1, and you get the charged hand of Alakirs, which have adjacent minions have +1 attack. This is one of the Herald Colossals, so if you Herald twice, it'll improve. If you Herald 4 times, it'll improve, and this will go from a 1/2 to a 2/4 to a 4/8 and give +2 attack and +4 attack. You combine it all with your Alakir, you'll get 2 random 10 drops for 1 mana. I think generally, this is a great card that with the Wind Fury Rush can clear 2 giant threats, right? You have you have 10 attack, you get hit for 20. That's pretty good. It doesn't have charge, and you get value, and the Heralds themselves enable like a whole token shaman strategy to utilize as you get to this point where you might kill your opponent before you even get to a Colossal, or the Deathwing that you can run, which we will talk about later. This gets an S tier for me. I think this is meta defining for Shaman. This is what most Shaman decks are probably gonna be built around if they're good. At least that's my thought. We'll see if it works out. And of course I revealed the card, or hosted the card reveal, so I'm pretty darn biased on this one. Next we have Alexstrasza, Guardian of Life, 7 mana, 8/8. Legendary Dragon for Priest, Battle Cry. Set your remaining health to 15. When you reach full health, deal 15 damage to your opponent. So this could be a pseudo heal. You're really low and you play this, you could heal up, although you're just playing a 7 mana 8/8. Could be pretty scary. I have noted, or have had it confirmed, if you play multiple of these, the deal 15 does stack, or you just play it with Dios, it'll stack, but it seems kind of clunky. There's a lot of good healing going on for Priest, and I think Priest has got a pretty good set this expansion, but I'm not sure this will really slot in there. I'm gonna give it a high C. It might just be that like extra burn and maybe kind of, like I said, pseudo heal, and can work really well with like Story of Amara, right? You just play that, go to 40, deal 15. That seems okay. I just don't know if it really will make the cut. It's right on the precipice or the border. I don't know. It's right near there for me. Next we have Archmage Calic. 4 mage. It is the legendary, obviously. These are all legendaries, but I'm probably going to say legendary every time because that's just how I am. 4 mana, 4/4, Battle Cry. Give all spells in your hand and deck spell damage +1. There are so many spells that came out this expansion that will be so much better with this, or just like an older card like Arcane Barrage gets to double dip on this. This feels like meta archetype defining for mage, not shaman. Why am I saying shaman? But it's pretty solid. It's reminiscent of like the old Hunter legendary that only hit arcane stuff and was too good at 3, went to 4 and still saw play. I'm giving this an A. I don't think it's quite S tier because I'm not like super sold on Spell Mage being this incredible deck, but it's close, and I do think it's a card that can only get better too, right? As more spells are added to the pool, and this is going to be in standard for the full, all these cards are going to be in standard for the full like 2 years, right? 6 expansions. That's also something to consider for these cards. We have the Arisen Onyxia, a 9 mana 3/6 Colossal double blood rune. For Death Knight, you get +2 extensions when your hero would lose health on your turn, gain that much max health instead. And you have the wings, which again can be heralded. This is another herald one, can be upgraded to be a 2/2 or a 4/4. And then when summoned, get a random 2-cost minion or 4-cost minion if you double upgraded, 8-cost minion if you've heralded 4 times. It costs health this turn, so you can get a ton of value, a stat bomb, and a ton of health, right? When you get these wings out, you get a ton, or you get the colossal out, you can get a ton of health, and it doesn't just add to your max health. It's like vampiric blood, where you gain the health as well. And you can bring this back with the 4-mana spell, right? And these aren't battle cries on the wings. You can do this multiple times, gain a ton of health, spam the board with minions. I think this card's incredible. It's just, can we get to 9 mana? And we're playing Death Knight. We did lose Vampiric Blood. We did lose Corpse Explosion. It might be a bit more difficult, but I'm putting this towards S. I'm biased. I love Death Knight. I can't wait to play this in Theory Crafting and in the Early Access Brawl and on Ladder. I'm going to play the heck out of it. I just hope it's as good as I think it could be, especially when you keep bringing it back. We also have Azara, Ocean Lord, the 8-mana, 8/8 Naga Colossal for Demon Hunter. You get 2 extensions. Your hero has Wind Fury, and you get these tentacles that can also be upgraded. Another Herald class. When summoned, give your hero +1 attack, or +2 attack, or +4 attack. This turn, Herald twice to upgrade. It could be a 2/1, a 4/2, and an 8/4, which is just ridiculous amount of damage. And as you're heralding along, you're going to be dealing chip damage after chip damage. And if you fully upgrade this, it's 16 damage plus whatever attack boosts you have, a weapon equipped, or, you know, maybe an Elise location. Even with it being nerfed, copy is still there. This also feels archetype defining, meta defining for Demon Hunter. I am also giving that Colossal an S. I'm not looking forward to facing that one, especially it comes down to turn before I can play my Colossal and Death Knight, so we'll see if it plays out. But again, it just enables our Demon Hunter to be able to push all this damage and then have a huge damage payoff in the late game where they've already chipped away. I do feel like it'll be really darn strong. Plus, you could get it off that new legendary location, which again, we'll talk about later. We have another heralded legendary here for Warlock, Cho'Gall Mastermind, 9 mana, 6/6 Colossal +2. Your arms and soldiers destroy minions in the enemy's deck instead, and you get these arms, which again can be upgraded. At the end of your turn, destroy the minion to the right to gain +2/+2, or +4/+4, or +8/+8, depending on how much you've heralded. And of course, these are either going to be a 1/1, a 2/2, or a 4/4. To me, I think Herald Warlock could very well be a thing, especially with Egg of Kelos. I think Cho'Gall might actually get the cut, right? Like, just destroying minions in your opponent's deck isn't incredible. We've seen that with like Ham. Like, the card's fine, but you played it as a tourist to get new heights, and it's not a real win condition at 9 mana. Very expensive, no real great way of cheating it out. But I do think Herald Warlock will be very much a potential thing for like an Egg of Kelos. Like, the Heralds themselves are really good. I just don't know if I want Cho'Gall in the deck. So to me, he's one of the weaker ones. I'm actually going to give him a C just because he's very expensive and has no actual immediate impact on the board other than stats, and I guess maybe we hit a key minion in your opponent's deck, but typically that's not like something you really can rely on. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like a B. We shall see. And next we have Chromatus, the Paladin Colossal. So this cannot be upgraded, not a Herald one. It is an 8 mana, 8/8 dragon with Colossal +4. It has Taunt, Lifesteal, Elusive, and Divine Shield, and each extension themselves have one of these keywords, and as they are destroyed, Chromatus will lose those keywords unless you just kill Chromatus himself before that. And it's just a ton of stats, and you get Taunt, you get Divine Shield, you get like a ton of effects. Super annoying, but Ursun Maul just got nerfed, right? This won't be as easy to find now. You won't be able to just get it as one of your highest cost cards, but I do think it's a very valuable stat bomb, could see some considerable play. I will give this a B in Paladin. The only thing really holding it back is it's 8 mana. It doesn't have rush, right? Like, it's very defensive, but overall, I could see it seeing play. We have the Warrior Legendary Commander Geddon. It's a 7 mana 7/7 elemental battle cry. Instead of drawing each turn, discover a card from your deck. It costs 3 less. Destroy the others. So every time you draw, instead of just drawing, you will discover 3 cards from your deck. You pick one, it's 3 mana less. The others are just poof, they're gone. They're no longer part of your deck. So you're going to be getting to fatigue a lot faster. So maybe we'll play that dragon that could delete your opponent's like top 5 cards or whatever. So there is that, or maybe you just hit a key combo a lot faster with some mana cheat, but you might also hit 3 cards you really don't want to lose. So I feel like this could enable some shenanigans of Warrior. It's mass mana cheat plus curated draw could be pretty nice. I don't know what it goes into, but I'm not going to sleep on it. I'm going to give it a B. I think it could see some meta play. Next, we have Deathwing World Breaker. They're able to summon a 12/12 dragon, shuffle 5 random legendary dragons into your deck. They cost 1, deal 4 damage to all enemy minions, and destroy the highest health enemy minion. So if you've heralded twice, you get to pick 2 of these. If you've heralded 4 times, you get all of them. You can pick the order of which they go off, but you get to pick all of them. So this will be auto include in any like late game based Herald deck that plays your Colossal for the late game. You get, 5 damage every turn, which is ridiculous. The only thing I would say that's like a downside to it is that you maybe shuffling 5 dragons can be kind of bad because you want to draw other cards maybe, but they're legendary dragons. They're not just going to be like whatever minions outside of, I guess, the Dormant Gnaws is not particularly great. But overall, this gets an S. This will be alongside these Colossals, a really important card, and I imagine we'll see plenty of it. And we can play it for early in the early access brawl for free, which is really cool. We have the Abyssian for Hunter, a 7 mana 6/6 minion battle cry. Your dragons have rushed this game. While in hand, play a dragon to become a 12/12 dragon. And if you're a 12/12 dragon, you also have rush. So Dragon Hunter looks really good. And this card can allow you just to have a lot of board control. I just don't know, is Dragon Hunter going to be pure smork and just want to kill you and not care about playing this and getting rush? But it's a 7 mana 12/12 with rush most of the time, unless you top deck this and you don't have any dragons. And the ongoing effect can be really strong. I think Dragon Hunter is going to be really good. I'm giving it an A. I expect to see this card to see play. And I think this is like a legendary you can get for free in that whole like rally event. We also have a new Gen Cursed King, the 4 mana 5/4 neutral legendary. While holding this, if the rest of your hand is all even or all odd, transform into the Worgen King. And the Worgen King is a 4 mana 6/5 battle cry. You upgrade your starting hero power, it costs 1. So you get like the Baku upgraded hero power, and then you get the Gen mana cheat. So you really need to draw this early. You really need to have your hand be either even or odd, which I don't think is worth building your deck around at all. I feel like this goes into a deck that like a no-hand hunter that just wants to like vomit cards, not have a ton of cards in hand, and you're likely, if you have no cards in hand, it's active or just a couple, it's probably going to be active, a good chance of that. But I just don't think it's worth it in today's game. You really need to also get the value out of that incremental hero power. And a 4 mana 6/5 is above the curve, but overall it gets a C. Maybe it's a fringe card in one of those decks, but I don't see it seeing play. And considering I gave Baku a 1 or a 0 back in the day, it's S tier, right? We have Isorath, the Rogue Legendary 5 mana 5/3 Battle Cry, Devour 2 random cards from your opponent's hand, then go dormant for 2 turns, Death Rattle, return them. So if you bounce this after it becomes undormant, those are permanently gone. But you're playing a 5 mana, basically do nothing other than maybe, you know your opponent, and then you probably really want to bounce this, but then you're spending a bunch of mana bouncing to remove a cards. Like, it's super toxic. I think the design on this card's really unfun. If it's ever actually good, it probably gets nerfed, but I don't think it's good. I'm giving it a low C. There's a chance disruption can be valuable, but overall, I'm thinking it's probably a dud. We also have another Colossal. This one cannot be upgraded. It's for Hunter in Magma, a 7 mana 2/12 Mech Beast with Colossal plus 99, effectively making it infinite, but not quite. Summon any leftover appendages when there is room. So you fill the board constantly until that main body is dead with Magma's Body, which are 2/1s that have Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +2 attack, and it can keep buffing the main head. It can buff other parts of the body. The main reason I think this card's pretty spooky is the Hunter hand targeting card. You can target this on turn 3 and then play this on turn 5 because it'll go down from 6 to 5. That's a ton of stats on like turn 5. And there's no brawl. There's no corpse explosion. There's not a lot of great AoEs. This could just solo the game. It's just so much stats, so much attack. I'm giving it an A. Like, it's not the most sexy card out there, but it's so much stats, and the fact that you can reliably cheat it out early is really scary to me. So look out for that one. We have Meloriak, a 7 mana 7/7 Warlock Legendary Dragon. After you discard a minion, summon a copy of it. We have the 2/3 mana targeted discard cards, and we also have like Cursed Catacombs, which you can use to kind of manipulate this, but they're all pretty expensive for just getting a random, copy of a minion on the board. That doesn't seem incredible. I gave this a 3 initially, and the more I think about it, I'm giving it a C. I don't quite see it being a meta player. I don't think there's quite enough synergies out there for it in standard, but you never know. They're going to be making more discard stuff as time goes on, as always, which will ruin Wild more, but will make this card better in the long run. We have Marithra of the Dream, an 8 mana 4/12 legendary dragon, 4 druid with Battle Cry. Fill your hand with random dragons. That's not amazing. It's a lot of value, but not amazing. If you spent 25 mana while holding this, they cost 1. And yeah, that could be pretty insane. You could also just get a bunch of crappy neutral, common, rare dragons that don't do a lot, and then you got to spend a mana on that. This is a card you kind of need in your opener, but then you don't really want to hold an 8 mana card in your opener. It's going to be a weird one. I feel like Druid's going to be much more token based, a lot more around their Colossal, a lot more about their buffs. I see a lot of good stuff going on there. Not so much with this card, so it's going to get a C from me. We have Morchok, the Shaman Legendary, an Elemental. It's a 10 mana 10/10 Battle Cry. You draw a card and reduce its cost by 10. Repeat this with excess cost reduction. So at the very least, you're going to draw at least a 10 mana card, and you can play that for 10, like the Deathwing, which is playable in Shaman, or you just draw like 6 cards that have a combined mana cost of like 10, right? Because it will keep drawing until that mana reduction has been consumed. The only drawback for this card, it's 10 mana, but you're drawing stuff that you can immediately play alongside of it, and Shaman's already going to be wanting to play their Colossal, wanting to play Deathwing. It might be a bit too expensive, but I think this is a really solid card. I'm giving it an A. Mana cheat good, draw good. It just, attached to a 10 might make it a bit tougher. We have Nespera, the Enthralled, a 3 mana legendary location for Demon Hunter with 5 durability. You can deal 1 damage. That can go anywhere. After you cast a fell spell, reopen, Death Rattle, summon Nespera Unshackled, which is a 6 mana 6/6 beast that will be summoned. You don't have to worry about playing it. After you cast a fell spell, get a random Naga. It costs 1. And yes, the Colossal is a Naga, and there's not that many Nagas out there. The issue is you need to have enough fell spells to not only open this, but also utilize your Nespera. We have ways of copying up fell spells and generating more. Those are out there. So there's a shot for this card in either like no minion Demon Hunter or just a Colossal fell Demon Hunter. I could see it happening. I think it's decent. It just will require a good amount of fell spells, and that's, to me, the main thing holding it back. So we'll see, but I'm giving it a B. It looks pretty spicy to me. We have Nozdormu Bronze Aspect, the Paladin Legendary, 5 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, give your minions Divine Shield, including himself, which is super important. Any already that had one, gain +3/+3 instead. So you're bubbling up your board, or you're already bubbled up and you're buffing on top of it, and you might be doubling up your end of turn effects and getting like +6/+6, which is just insane. Like, just hitting a couple of minions with this can be super relevant because you got to kill this card. If Nas doesn't die, you lose. This is a card that snowballs insanely quickly, and without Brawl, without Corpse Explosion, it's gonna get even tougher. This is an S tier card. It scares the crap out of me that this is gonna be just this insane snowball minion that Paladin will absolutely love. We have Ragnaros, the Great Fire, an 8 mana 8/8 Colossal for Warrior. It's an elemental. You can herald and upgrade this one. At the end of your turn, trigger your death rattles. And we have the Hand of Ragnaros, which has a death rattle. How convenient. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. That can be upgraded to 4 when you herald twice, or 8 when you're fully upgraded, and then you get a 4/2 in an 8/4, or of course the base 2/1. That could be a ton of damage. And Warrior already looking good with dragons. They're getting dragons that can herald. This package looks real explosive, a ton of damage. I'm giving another S. I'm probably overrating. I'm probably on copium, but I just feel like the Herald guys look insane. I just feel like they all look insane outside of the Warlock one so far. And yeah, I'm giving it an S. I think this Warrior deck looks great, and I can't wait to try it out. I will probably be annoyed when I die to all this death rattle damage. We have Sinestra for Rogue, another Herald Colossal, 6 mana 5/5 Dragon, Colossal +2. With an active effect of your spells from other classes cast twice, which could be great, could be bad. You never know when you're playing a Sinestra's Wing, which is a 1/1 or a 2/2 or a 4/4, depending on how much you've upgraded it. When summoned, get a random spell from another class that costs 1 less or 2 less or 4 less. So you can combo it with Sinestra or just play them. It seems like fun. This card seems super fun. I just have no idea if it could be competitive or not. It is combining mana cheat, so that's something to consider. I'm gonna give it a B. It might just be a C, but I'm definitely on Theory Crafting playing Imbue Rogue plus Sinestra. It's gonna be absolute random chaos. We also have the Priest Colossal, the Black Blood, a 7 mana 4/8 Colossal. Again, this cannot be upgraded. 3 appendages after you restore health to a character. So any character, even enemy, attack a random enemy minion. And it goes in like sequential order with the Black Blood's body, which are 1/2s. At the end of your turn, restore 3 health to a random damaged friendly character. So that could heal your face, or it could heal up the Colossals it continues to attack in, helping keeping itself alive. Priest really needed some more mid-range AoE plus healing options. This is that in one card, and you can bring it back if you really want with like the new core set legendary. It's healing, it's board removal. I know a lot of people don't think it's that great. I think it's an A. I think this is a staple in Control Priest, and I think it will be really solid. And thankfully Blobitar just got nerfed, so less likely to be swinging in to some poisonous minions. We have the neutral legendary Ultraxian, a 6 mana 6/7 dragon. Oh no. Battle Cry, herald your Colossal, reduce Deathwing's cost by 1, herald to improve. So you can reduce Deathwing's cost by 2 or 4 depending on how much you have heralded, and you get to herald with this card itself. Every Herald class wants to herald as much as possible. They all pretty much want to discount Deathwing. This gets a high A. This will be a staple in those decks. I don't think it's like meta defining, but it's just a really good support card for those decks. Extra heralds, mana cheat. It's all good stuff. I imagine it will see considerable play. We have Victor Nefarious, Death Knight Legendary. Battle Cry, craft a custom undead dragon. If you're holding a dragon, reduce the creation's cost by 3. We've never been able to craft undead dragons. This will be really hard to evaluate. We don't know the pool of minions, but you can just play this on curve, craft something, and then if you draw a dragon later, it'll be cheaper, or you already have it, it'll be cheaper, and play it. And that could be pretty good. It's just, I don't know how to evaluate without seeing that stuff. I feel like these cards typically haven't seen a ton of play, but you do get a ton of mana cheat, and it's not like there's a crazy requirement on it. You just need to be holding in dragons, and they got some pretty good dragons this set. I like to have the old art. This was the original version, the 5 mana one. I'll give it a B. I think it could slot into some unholy decks, but also could very well just not be worth playing. We'll have to wait and see. We also have the Mage Colossal Volcanos, the 7 mana 4/8 elemental colossal +2 at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other minions. So it doesn't hit itself, but it will hit the appendages, which are the Plume of Volcanos. They're 1/4s. Whenever this takes damage, get a random fire spell. It costs 3 less. So you're getting, bare minimum, you're going to be getting 2 random fire spells and probably a couple more, because they're probably going to take some damage on top of that. You're getting an AoE effect, but 2 damage on 7 is really weak, and you're just getting random value. You can't control that. There's fire spells that can be useless. It's a tough one. I don't think it quite makes the cut. I'm down to a C on this one, but I don't think it's irredeemable. I think it might have a chance, but yeah, to me, it's a C. It's one of the weaker colossals, if not the weakest colossal outside of, I guess we have the Warlock one. We have Virenov, the 6 mana 6/6 elemental battle cry. If the total cost of your starting minions was 100, and that has to be exactly 100, not 101, not 99, but 100. And there will be an in-game UI thing to tell you if you are at that correct number. You don't have to worry too much about the maths. You split 100 stats among minions in your deck, and I have been told that it's +50, +50, and then that's split, like as much as it can be, depending on how many minions you have left. So you can't get just like 100 attack or 100 health. It will be split relatively even. So yeah, really good with like chargers or rushers and things like that. Illidari Inquisitors. It'll be such a weird one to evaluate. You need to draw this card, play it, hit relevant minions that are still in your deck. That could be challenging, but the payoff is absolutely huge. I'm gonna give it a low B. I think it might surprise some people. Maybe it spawns some scam decks out there. You just never know. And we have War Master Blackhorn, which has already been nerfed. A 7 mana 6/6 minion with Battle Cry. Destroy all cards that cost 2 or less in both players' decks, right? They removed the hand part. I think this version I have here is the old one. It already wasn't a great card. It was a meta warping card, but not a great card. It gets an F from me. I don't know why I want to play a card that's just that 7 mana 6/6 that just deletes cards in my opponent's deck now. Like, I saw it once since it got nerfed and it was atrocious, although I was playing a deck that I didn't care if it was the original version to begin with, which I keep saying, like, it was a very narrow polarizing card. But yes, it's my 1F now because it's already been nerfed. On the original version, yeah, I would have given it like a high C, low B. But for this, yeah, it's now an F. And lastly, we have the Wicker Fang, the Druid Colossal, a 6 mana 0/5 Colossal +4. After one of Wicker Fang's legs gains stats, this gains them 2. And you get 4 of them. They're all 1 mana 0/2s at the end of your turn, gain +1/+1. So you're gaining +4/+4 on your Wicker Fang. All those little tokens get buffed, and then any other buffs you play, which we got plenty this expansion and others out there like the Druid Quest, it gets really large. The only thing going against this card is that it has no immediate board impact other than stats. But again, we lost Brawl, we lost Corpse Explosion. It's gonna be a lot harder to remove stats like this, and it's just so much for 6 mana. And maybe you like Coin Innervate or ramp into this with the new Treant. You can get this out even earlier. I'll give this a high B. I could see this seeing some absolute play. So there you go. That's every legendary from this expansion. I only gave 1 F to a card that just got nerfed and would not have gotten an F if it hadn't been nerfed. And I think there's a lot of potential here. This is also an incredibly hard one to evaluate, considering this standard rotation is seeing such a huge power reset and so many key cards leaving that cards that might normally seem like an A could be an S, or cards that might seem like whatever might actually be really good, or maybe they're really bad and I'm wrong. Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below what you agree with, disagree with, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.